Hey everyone, Tana's here from the Creative Outpost with my next design team project for all scrapbook essentials. Now, I thought I always get asked for tutorials, and because I tend to kind of create as I go, I thought maybe it'd be fun for you guys to create with me. So what I'm going to use today is I'm going to use the window shoulder box from Graphic 45 along with the Simply Vintage Christmas Lodge collection from Simple Stories, and then the Woodland bits. Now, I've got a couple ideas. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this box with a notepad, a pencil, and then some cards inside of it. Now, I like to reuse things, so I'm going to use this pack. I'm going to decorate it Christmas, get rid of the cat, cover the pencil, and you'll see how we go. So, let's get started. I mean, for me, it really is just, I just start the project. I just get going and see where the design takes me. So, be right back. Okay, so as you can see, this is a bit too big for here. So, to reuse this, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trim it. I'll do that off camera. You all know how to cut something, so I'm going to probably cut off about that line. I'm going to cover all of these, and I'm going to cover my pencil. So, I will be back in a... So what I decided to do to make this the right size is literally just hold my ruler and just keep coming down with my X-Acto blade. Now, because I like to reuse everything and try to use up things I'm not using at home, this is all I'm doing. I may get to a point where I say enough's enough and just peel the back off and say that's a big enough notepad. So, again, choice is yours as to how you do this. This is how I did it. Keep it easy. That's what I like. Alright, so clean that off. See, now I can just keep using this as my edge, and I just keep going down to get that off. Should probably quit cutting on my pad here and get just to my self-healing pad. So I think I'm going to switch that out. This is what happens when I create. I get going and forget where I am. There we are. That's better. Cut on the pad that's actually meant for cutting. Okay. You don't need to listen. Okay, so I have that cut. I like the size of it. It fits in there nice. I will decorate that. Okay, but now I want to figure out what I want to use on the front to cover my box to make sure that I don't cut up everything I need. This is, and now, anyone who knows me knows I will likely end up using this and possibly pieces down here. So I keep that. Let's have a look what we have. Oh, this is gorgeous. Gorgeous paper. Oh, wow. So many possibilities. All right. That might be my cover. Oh, now, I am a Santa freak. That may be my cover. I just like to look at everything first to figure out what I'm going to do. Of course, that would make a really good card as well. Oh my goodness, there is so much here, guys, to play with. Look at those. Those are card fronts if I ever saw them. Okay. And then, of course, we have all these great stickers. All right. Those are going off the side. Now, I am going to put acetate on here. Now, when I do acetate, you could put it inside if you wanted. This one would allow you to because the lid comes off this way. When they tend to slide, then I tend to do it on the top. So we'll see how I do it. All right, because this is tight fitting, I likely won't cover here just because it will make it difficult to close it. But I may ink it. You just never know what I'm up to. Okay, so now here I'm going to have a boo. How am I going to do this? That would be really cool. That would be really cool, and make it like a flap that opens up so you can see what's inside. All right. So, this is about 5 1/8, guys. That's about what that is 5 1/8. You can see. So now I'm going to have a look. What's this? Oh, look! I can get 5.5. And then I can make it so I can open that. I can just literally put that on there. I'm going to score a line down here. This is going to be, I'll have a magnet under here, under this piece, because I'm going to cut it out along here. It is going to be decorative on the top. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to put underneath it, which I kind of think I like this, but I'm going to lose most of those trees. So I'm going to change up what I'm going to put there. Because I'm going to lose most of those trees, well, I think that would be kind of fun. All right. So as I said, this was, I could actually look on here. It probably tells me the dimensions, but really what fun would that be? It does. It's 9¼ inches by 5¼ inches. So I always like a little bit of an edge, so I'm going to cut it just shy of 5¼ inches. Now, my cutter's over here, so I will be right back. I'm going to cut it. Okay, so I have cut this literally one line less than 5¼ by 9¼ So it is going to fit right on there. Now, obviously, see, this is why you check everything. I'm a bit long, so I will trim this a little bit. I'm going to show you how we're going to do the hole too in a second. I'll be right back. Now the reason I was a little bit long, so when I went back and measured, I actually wasn't truly one line below 9¼ I like to look at things and see if I like them that close. And I think I want to shave just a little smidge off the edge and off the top. So I likely now will do this 5 1/8 by 9 1/8. All right, I like that there. That'll work. Okay. Now, literally, to get the hole, I'm going to put this down. Make sure I've got this pretty well centered on there. And I am going to take my pencil, if I can find such a thing. There we go. And I am going to trace this opening. Okay. Now you got a couple of choices here, guys. You want to make sure that you're straight, which no guarantee I am. And now looking at it, I'm thinking I've changed my mind. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to glue it down, and then I'm going to fold these edges over with the acetate. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut down the middle, cut down here so I have that. All right. Let's get the lid on. Because that really doesn't look very straight to me. So, I'm really not that fussy on straight, but the top of the lid needs to be straight. So let's get our acetate. So I've got that on there first. Now you can use any kind of acetate. I have used plastic covers from other boxes. Oh, look at that. I have a scrap that fits. There we go. Perfect. Okay. This acetate I got at All Scrapbook Essentials. There's a couple of different kinds you can get there. So literally just have a look. Tanya carries all kinds. I love acetate. I will wipe it off later. I can glue it down, but I'm going to use Silk Wang on this. Now you say, if I put this down, how am I going to cut that top out? Very good point. So I'm going to put my Silk Wang there, ink these edges, and I am going to use Forest Moss. I pretty much ink everything, guys. It's just who I am. I like to ink. And as you can see, this creative process with me just happens. I don't really give it a whole lot of thought. I give it a bit of an idea. Okay, let's glue. Now, art glitter glue, again, I get it. All Scrapbook Essentials. I love my art glitter glue. I use it like crazy. And it just holds and it gives me that second to move anything if I need to. So, and you're wondering, wow, that's not a lot of glue. Well, I'm also going to glue the paper. I am going to do both. I just really, this dries clear, so if it squishes out the edges, I'm okay. Notice I use that box as a guide. Okay, let's get this on here. Now, I have this amazing tool I got from Tanya's. You can tell it's very well loved. It's just a big bone folder. I use these to burnish everything I stick down. I can use my regular bone folder if I could find it. Ah, there we go. Again, got this one at All Scrapbook Essentials. I use this too. It's a nice edge. Okay, so now I am going to go in here and I am going to cut this out. Apparently I'm not going to fold it. I've changed my mind. I'm going to cut this out because I can use this on a card front after. All right. Now you're saying, oh, that's a rough edge. It is. You're right. So if you have a sander, you could just give it a quick burnish, which I do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ink and I'm going to ink that. Now, that edge does bother me a little bit. I will tell you that. I'll be honest with you there. But I'm going to cover it up. So let's wait. Let's wait to see what we get. Put the stopper back in the glue. Otherwise, as you can see, I have a great deal of fun trying to do that. Otherwise, I find it dries out on me. Now let's get our acetate back in here. And I'm going to put sequin all around the edges to stick that acetate on. Oh, I should cut out my piece for the inside first. Yeah, that's going to be sticky. See, this is why you create. This is why I create like this. All right. What am I going to use inside? Okay. I'm actually going to use this one inside. I quite like that, so I'm going to cut it like we cut the other one. Now, because this is going inside, guys, this might be a little bit smaller. So 9 inches. So I'm actually going to cut this about 8 3/4 by just about 5, or probably 5, and see how it fits. So I'll start with 5 wide because I can always trim a bit off. And I'll do actually. Okay, so I actually did one line above 8 1/2. Okay, I like that. That works for me. So, now you're going to say, well, you put that sequin down, that's going to stick on there, and you're right. So, I could either try and cover it back up with those, or I could just peel it off. So I'm going to peel it off because I'm covering the whole thing up. See, I like people to understand there really is no wrong way to create. There's no wrong way to do this, guys. If you enjoy the process, that is all that matters. And I genuinely love the creative process. There are some girls I tend to create with that say I'm guilty of just basically sticking that stuff down. Well, that's true. I do. Okay, now. The outside of my box doesn't matter where the top is. But that rough corner, remember, I want that to be in this bottom corner. So that's going to be my top. I want this to be directional. So now I am going to draw this on here because I want to be able to cut this out and not. So it gives me a rough guide. Now I'm going to put this piece in here, and it's going to give me the rough guide I need. Sorry, I'm probably off camera. There we go. And then I am just going to come in here with my X-Acto blade. I have a rotary cutter I use a great deal as well. And I'm just going to give this a cut. Remember guys, my science isn't perfect because I'm more into the actual process than I am all the exactness. I like everything to have an element of me, and I'm a bit wacky, so everything's a little bit wacky. I'm also a Christmas freak, so I'm very excited to be doing a project that is Christmas themed. Oh, might help if I actually cut that end. All right. Okay, so now I can go back in. I can just make those little cuts. Anywhere it's still kind of stuck, I can just give it a little trim. Sometimes I'm impatient and try and pop it out, so I'm going to try not to be like that. As I try and pull that, I just finished saying I wouldn't. Okay. All right. Now let's see how I did. That works for me. Okay. I am going to ink the inside of this, and I've just stuck with the forest moss. You could change it up if you want. I just left it on the forest moss, and as I said, I ink everything just because I like everything inked. Wow, for a minute there I thought that was my pencil line, but it's not. It's a line on the paper. Okay, back at you. Put those aside because I will come back to them later. Let's get this stuck down with this for the sequin. I really like the element that acetate gives to a project. Apparently my fingers don't want to work today. You know, just that little extra peekaboo, it's a nice feature. So, I hope I'm not too out of frame here. I'm trying to do this so you can see what I'm doing the entire time. And I'm sure, like many of you, when I create, it is a mess, and I love it. Okay, let's get these off and out of the way so we can then put our acetate down, get the inside of our cover down. All right. Now literally with this, all I wanted it was so you could see it. I will come back in with a cloth and wipe that off. Okay. Gonna glue this in. And this is where I find the bone folder is very helpful because it can really get into those corners and push this down for me. What I want to cover here is I want to get this as close to the acetate as I can. I'm okay if it's not quite to the top and bottom because you're really not going to see that a lot. Perfect. burnish, burnish, burnish. I'm sure you've all heard that a million times on anything you've watched, but it really makes a difference when you get stuff down and flat. Okay, so now, perfect. All right. So again, I'm not going to do inside of here at this point, just because I think it's going to be a little tight going on and off that box. That will be a judgment. Oh, good gravy. I think I could do this by now. There we go. All right. So, as I said, I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to put him over there as a flap. So, yes, I fussy cut as a rule with these great big scissors. It's just what I like. You could fussy cut with nice little scissors if that's what works for you. And I have great big hands, and I'm okay with the great big scissors. I'm also not, when you fussy cut, I mean, there are people that fussy cut and it is absolutely perfection. I just cut. Because again, I don't want the process. I like the process. I love the process. But I don't want to be frustrated when I'm making something. I just want to enjoy it. So, I do. As you can see, this is, I just love this element. There was just something about it. Well, it's a good Santa face for one. That always makes me happy. Good Santa faces always make me happy. All right, put that aside for after. And I'm just going to trim that off. There we go. Okay. Before I go any further, I want to ink this up. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scoreboard. I had another little score tool I like. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry, can you see that? And I am just going to do a very narrow, if I could do this, okay, that'll be easier. I'm just going to do a very narrow, like about a 1/4 inch fold. Okay, so now I'm just going to fold that over. And again, I'm going to burnish that down. Because I want this to go on here. And I want it to open up like this, which means I am going to glue that down and probably decorate that part, but I also wanted this to have a closure, a magnet, which I probably should have put under here, but I'm going to show you what we can do. I'm going to show you how I can change that up once I find my magnets, because that would just make life easy. Now, I have different sizes of magnets. I think I'll use my little ones on this project. Maybe, maybe not. Ah, little ones. There we go. That's what I wanted. See, I'm just using these little ones. It's always fun to get out. Okay. Oops. Well, I know that those are the ones that need to stick together anyways. There we go. Let go. Okay. Off to the side with those. Alright, so if I was to put this down, and sometimes I am literally okay with a magnet showing. So if I put that there, where does this one need to go? Okay. I want that there. Probably should have taken this off beforehand. It's not going to work holding it, so. And believe it or not, 9 times out of 10, these little bits that are on there are plenty strong enough to actually hold your magnet, which always blows me away. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, so now that will go like that. Okay. I think for this, yeah, I am going to glue this because I may need to move it a little bit. So I'm going to glue this down. As you can see, I'm on the fly here. I'm just doing it as it works for my mind. Frightening as that is. Magnet on. Magnet there. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to burnish this way. Then I'm going to open this up and whoa, see how it moved on me? I'm going to make sure that it is burnished like this. Alright. Okay. So now, that so far is the front of our box, but you know, we got all this loveliness we can play with. We have stickers. We have all kinds of stuff here. Oh, my. Okay, we will play with that. Sometimes I have to think about those things. Okay, so this, if it does not stick down enough with the glue that's on it, I may very well run. In fact, I think I'm going to. I may very well run a strip down here to ensure that that stays closed. But let's get the rest of the box decorated. So let's do this. 1 inch by 9. So just under 1 and 9. Okay. Well, let's cut some 1 inch strips first. Okay, so I have 2 strips I'm going to put on here. Okay, I like that width, and I'm going to cut it down to 9 inches. And I do keep, guys, I keep all these little pieces off the side because you'll see what I do with them. I put them in the cards. Let's just get this down. Like, seriously. Get it down before you overthink the project. Before you go, oh my goodness, now what am I doing? Now you're wondering, the bottom. Do I have enough to cover the bottom? Well, that could be interesting. And that's often where I will pick a different color. Pick a different paper. And if I want it to coordinate, what I will do now is I will put this color around these edges. And I may pick a coordinating to go around these edges. And that will coordinate with the bottom. Actually, I think I will. Just saw that. I think that's what I'll do. Let's get these glued on. So these are 1 inch by 9 inches. If you want them a little narrower, you want to show a little bit of the box. This is all a personal preference, guys. As you can see, the one thing about the glue is it does let me maneuver it a little bit. When I use just sequang, once it, or schwang as I like to call it, once it's down, it's down. So, okay. And sometimes I do that. I don't get enough glue on, or I move it too much. So you can just reapply. That's the beauty of the art glitter glue. As you can see, it does dry clear. All right, let's try this again. Here we go. Get it on there. Get it on there. Okay. That works for me. All right. Now I can burnish it down. So, We'll get 2 sides done and the ends, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did get these edges all covered, as you can see. Now I'm just deciding on the inside of my box. So that paper, that gorgeous paper we had with the trees, that's what I've decided to put in here. And then, what I'm thinking I might do is take an accent piece like this, fold it, like score it in half, put it on the edges, and that will coordinate with my bottom and that top. Sort of what I'm thinking. I haven't quite got there yet. So I dry fit these all. This is now, these are 2 inches for the sides and the top and bottom. The sides are 2 by 8 3/4, and the top and bottom will be 2 by probably 4 3/4. I'm just going to test that out right now. Okay, so I now have cut 2 pieces. Yes, the 4 3/4. Okay, so that's going to be the inside of my box. I will ink it. I like that. All right. Okay, so that's the inside of our box. That works for me. Now, what am I going to do on this part of our box? I'm going to find something that coordinates with that I like. So let's figure that out. And this is literally, guys, this is just my mind working. Yeah. Oh, that would be okay. That's not too bad. What's this one? I'm not sure I want plaid and plaid. Okay, I don't mind that at all. That is what I'm going to do. Okay, so for this now, I need 1 inch again by 9. Okay, I'm going to cut. It's way easier to cut a 1 inch strip off this paper when it's 12 by 12. Okay, unless, just a sec, I just maybe changed my mind. Maybe I want to use the balance of this paper on here. Do I like that better? No, I think I'm going to stick with my first choice. Okay, so I've got 1 inch. Now I'm going to look. Yes, see that I like. I definitely like that. Okay. There we go. I went 1 line wider than 1 inch on this one. Just because I liked it like that. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 strips there. Okay, and then I'll do 1 more so I have it for the ends. All right, now I'll cut this at 9. I'm not overly particular, guys, on how I... Perfect. Okay, let's get that on there. This is the kind, I love this kind of project because it comes together really quick. You have such a very beautiful gift. Okay, I'm going to get those on there and we'll be right back. Okay, so now we have those edges all done. And you know, I actually don't think I am going to put anything on the corners because I kind of like it like that. So the bottom is going to be 5 by 9 1/8. So 5, oh, I might go 5 1/8 by 9 1/8. So we'll put that on the bottom. Now, you're going to say, well, if I use that, it's going the wrong direction. And I am okay with that, and that is what I'm actually going to do. So here's our bottom piece. Gonna put it on like that. I'm going to trim a smidge off the end. That's why I dry fit, guys. I look at that and I go, I think I'd like it just a little smidge less. So in reality, it wasn't 9 1/8, it was one line inside a 9 1/8. Give this a quick ink. You can see in my mind how that paper changes when you ink it. If you prefer that look, fantastic, then fly at it, be free. I like just adding ink to everything. And I use all kinds of colors. Obviously the Distress inks are my fave, so I use them a lot, the Tim Holtz inks. And everything you see me using, I have gotten at All Scrapbook Essentials in Kamloops, BC. Alright, lots of glue. Let's give this a couple runs down here just so we make sure we adhere really, really well. Okay. Alright. Now I know I haven't glued down the inside of the box. I am going to do that quickly because it just dawned on me that sometimes the inside is a little bit tricky. Okay, there's our box. Oh man, do I like this so far. You can see why I'm not putting anything there. It is tight. It's a tight fit, so I don't want anything here, here, or here. But I do like just having that decoration there. Okay. I was like, where are all my pieces? They're in there. It actually is easiest, for me anyways, guys, to put the inside, the bottom, down first, as opposed to the sides. I don't know why it is, it just always seems to be. So let's get that down here. So you can see that this is a fun project. Could you imagine getting 3 or 4 of your girlfriends together? You could whip these up. These would be great little Christmas presents, maybe teacher presents. Be great for that, you know, that aunt that sends everybody Christmas cards that likes something different, for your best friend. I mean, really, it's endless. Okay, get that bone folder in there to the edges, and then burnish. Yeah, use your hands too. That's what we have them for. Okay, I probably keep hitting this camera and I apologize. Okay, down, bottom is in. Now it's just way easier to do these sides. And believe it or not, I didn't plan this paper, how it cut. I just started cutting it, and I really do like the look. Just piecing that there. You could do that side if you want it. I've decided to keep it all with the trees. Again, just a really fun project. I'm going to give this line of glue in here. Because people are going to be opening this and closing it, you want everything burnished down really well. Hopefully you can see that okay. Oops, guess you can't. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that in there. Get that bone folder in there. Get it right into the corner, guys. Sometimes I use my pointy end, so you can see that I just burnish it right down in there. Okay. And let's make sure. These are exceptionally sturdy boxes from Graphic 45, so don't be scared to push. Okay, that one's down. Now my end piece. Dry fit, perfect. Okay. I love these little handles. I have them for every color I have. I just got a labeler from Tanya, so I'm actually going to relabel these, but I put the color on it. I don't change these. I have a holder I put them all in because I hate changing them in and out. For me, it was worth the expense to have the handles and a foam pad for each one. Again, I use my inks a great deal, so I just like it all to be very, very handy. All right. that in there. Get in there with the bone folder. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Okay, look at that. Look at us go. One more for the top. I do know people that can take this ink pad and ink. I've never quite figured out how to do that, which is why I do it this way. Do love my art glitter glue. Used to be strictly a swang, baby. Use swang on everything. I still use it in my mini albums, etc. I use it a great deal, but I find sometimes building something like this, it is just so much easier to have the glue. Again, get it down there. Okay, there. See? I didn't like how it had twisted a little bit on me, so I just was able to fix it quick. Get in there to the corner, top edge. One side left. This has gone exceptionally fast, guys. And not because I'm a wizard or anything. This is a very fun project. So once we get the box covered, I will take a little bit of a break, get some stuff organized, and I will come back and show you what we're doing on the next step of it. And hopefully I haven't bored you to death yet. Hopefully you're having fun and then watching how the creative process works with me. But this is really, as I said, I cut everything to fit. Let's get this piece in here to fit the box. So if the box is 9 1/4, 10:1, I'm cutting it 9 1/8 long. My best suggestion to you though is dry fit beforehand to make sure, because sometimes, let's face it, we're not precise. Something could be off a fraction and that might make, so there's the inside of our box. I kind of just like how that came together. All right, so we have our box completely decorated for now until we decide what extra embellishments we're going to put on here. But there we go. Okay, I will be back momentarily with the next phase of this project, which is our cards, our notepad, and our pencil.